each other from back in the HP days of OpenStack.
Yeah.
And the thing that I relished the most from our experiences was those random finding of each other in an airport, with both of us having time to wait for a flight and getting into interesting conversations, not so dissimilar, I would say, from the one that we're having currently. And in that ilk, in your perfect world, how would you see the open source ecosystem evolving? You know, a recognition of the importance of sustainability of open source, the recognition that, again, this is really the underpinning of so much commercial software, and hence its importance to be secure. You know, from here to a place of nirvana, you know, what would you what would you see as interesting steps and milestones along the way to improve the ecosystem and the sustainability and robustness of open source?
I don't claim to have any idea what that perfect world looks like. I can see the problems we have today, and I hope, a few solutions to a few of them. But I've learned enough. I think they say wisdom is developed through suffering, something like that. I've suffered enough through open source, and just, you know, all of these, the stresses of travel, that I know that the solutions that we come up with today to the problems we're facing today will become problems for someone else 10, 20, 30 years from now. That's the nature of life and technology and humanity, is that we fix the things that have to be fixed today. And that's great, and it keeps everything moving for a while. And in the future, society has changed, people have learned, technology evolves, language evolves, and those solutions now need to be fixed as well. So I think right now we are experiencing, we in the open source community and the world who's come to depend on open source are realizing and realigning around that acceptance. Society depends on what a whole bunch of volunteers have done, and a bunch of hobbyists have done, and a bunch of companies have unknowingly done. I think the companies need to be much more intentional in their actions and their responsibilities, and in how they're using and interacting with open source communities and software and those volunteers. I don't think it's appropriate for governments to tell their citizens they can't publish open source software, or to impose any other sort of regulations. In light of XD, there's been a lot of social media chatter, for example. Folks, you know, asserting, well, if we just had the legal identity of this developer, blah, blah, blah. No, right? Doesn't work that way. It wouldn't have prevented it. And all calls like that, like we've seen on the internet, a number of iterations of calls for identity verification online. They are always bad. They harm minorities. They exclude people. Open source is very diverse. It's participatory, it's global. It's a great economic elevator. Not quite, that's not the right word.
Equalizer.
Yeah, equalizer. Yeah, a lot of people who find their community online writing software eventually get jobs, and their social status, their economic status changes as a result of the openness of these communities to build cool stuff together. And like, that's the joy that keeps many of us slogging through airports at 2 a.m. with people that become friends after 10 years. That first airport, I remember us getting coffee. I was jet lagged and exhausted. I think this was coming back from Paris. I don't remember which airport it was. That I have a lot of bad memories with in Charles de Gaulle Airport. So it's probably there. I think it keeps getting a little bit better because we keep teaching the next generation of developers why these are important things to work on, and that they're fun.